Hello VSGers, this is Joe Saint along with Frankensleeve with another quick fact. One of the questions I often see on the forums is, can't I do this weight loss thing without going through the surgery? And the answer is, sure you can. Many people have lost weight by eating smaller amounts, but I was one of those people that it seemed like I could never stay full for very long. And I've seen a completely different mindset since the weight loss surgery. I no longer have compulsive thoughts about food. I don't have cravings anymore. I used to get thoughts of a certain kind of food, like the flavor of cherries or a flavor for a certain kind of hamburger, and I would have to go out and get that food and eat it. Otherwise, I just would not be satisfied. My whole thought process would be focused on that food, and I would be obsessed about it till I finally ate. The thoughts about that kind of food or that particular food would just stay in my head, and it would kind of override all my other thoughts. I could go out and do stuff and get my mind off of it for a while, but as soon as I got off that task or finished that task, the craving for that food would just take over. And I believe it was because of the hormone called ghrelin, which is produced by your stomach and signals your brain that you're hungry. And so the more you eat and the bigger your stomach gets over time, the more ghrelin your stomach produces. So I believe with the vertical sleeve gastrectomy and the reduction of my stomach, that level of hormone has been greatly reduced to a more normal level for a normal person. So the kinds of food and the amount of food I eat has drastically changed since surgery, not just because of the reduced stomach size, but because I can't ignore those thoughts about wanting any one particular kind of food. The thoughts don't exist anymore for me. Before weight loss surgery, my meals were commonly a pound or more of food. Mainly I stuck to meat because I was trying to do the Atkins type diet, but I would get home in the evenings, and for supper I would eat a pound of, say, pork loin or a pound of bacon, and then 2 hours later I'd be rummaging around in the kitchen again for another pound of pork loin or roast or steak or whatever it was I'd had that evening. And I could pretty much count on the fact that I would be hungry every 2 hours no matter how much I ate. And nothing seemed to ever break that cycle until I had weight loss surgery. So if I could have lived that lifestyle as suggested by the question, can I eat small meals and lose weight without having the surgery, then I would have lived that way. But I was unable to control my appetite. And the only way I can describe my feelings of hunger were it was like a little kid tugging on your sleeve, wanting something on the candy aisle or the toy aisle, and you could not make him go away. It was one of those things where it would wear me down over time, and eventually I would just give in. So you can lose weight by cutting back on your caloric intake. My best friend did it. He lost over 80 pounds several years ago, and he has the self-discipline and the willpower to just not eat. For many months, he only ate one hamburger a day or one small meal per day, usually at lunch. So he was only taking in 800 to 1,000 calories a day. And there were several weeks where he would go 2 and 3 days without eating anything just to see how long he could go without eating. And like I said, over time he was able to lose more than 80 pounds. And he's kept it off for several years now and shows no signs of gaining the weight back. He still only eats one big meal a day, usually around 12 to 1,500 calories. And then on weekends he allows himself to go out to eat on Saturday nights and have one meal of anything he wants and as much as he wants. And then starting on Sunday he goes right back to his old eating plan of just one meal a day, usually for the rest of the week. Occasionally he will allow himself a cheat meal during the week if he feels like he's exercised extra or he's done extra strenuous activities like mowing the yard or weed eating, something that would burn off extra calories. But he has stuck to his plan. But for some people, it just doesn't seem to work out that well, and we need the extra helping hand of surgery to get our stomachs and minds under control. So this is Joe Saint and Frankensleeve saying goodbye from VSG land, and keep pimping that sleeve.